Are we sat in the right order?
Yeah. No, I think maybe you. Maybe Arch swap round.
God, he hates you.
I think this is fine.
I don't
You
think
are.
it's- You know what you're saying?
Yeah, this is ladylike.
No, we're not. It's not God.
Oh. Shit.
Just whenever he's ready.
This is ladylike showing up in conversation.
Wasn't built with the tight lines and heavy holding on to friend southwest.
So just to like get everybody like a feel of who yous are, like for people coming across yous for the first time, are you able to sort of break down who you are and like what you do in the band?
I'm James and I play drums.
I'm Georgia and I play guitar and vocals.
I'm Spencer, I play guitar, vocals and synth.
I'm Archie, I play bass 6.
Sick. And overall, as like a collection, like what sound would you say that yous kind of exist in? Like what genres?
I think we sort of like go between sort of like post-rock and shoegazy type tones with some like folky elements.
Yes.
Yes.
So you are just off the back, this is the last day of the EP released like tour. How's it been like to let the EP, which we'll get into, like out in the world and like sort of play it live and get that experience?
It's been really nice, yeah. I think like we've been playing the songs on the EP for like quite a long time. And the nice thing about doing this is like having the longer set means we can do the EP just like as the EP, but also play a bunch of new stuff that we've been like working on and like introduce new sides to our sound. But yeah, playing the EP and having people heard it already is really nice, yeah.
Before we get into sort of the future and like the now of the band, we're like the history of it, so we can go into the name of like how it came to be, but ultimately sort of how he's got together, like how he's met, and just sort of like a sense of who the band is from like the ground up.
I mean, we can't really get into the name too much. We kind of fell into it. It was one of George's old project names, so that was it. Then we needed a name for a gig, and we stuck with it.
Like it.
Yeah, we
You
didn't
don't
like
like
it.
it?
We didn't love it for a while, and then it grew on us, and everybody seems to like it. And then we now we stopped thinking about it, and then kept doing it.
You get to a certain point where you can't change the band name, so you're stuck with it. Yeah. I don't think we hate the word, but it's not. I don't think it's like I don't hear the name and think it's a reflection of our sound. It's just sort of been like a way for us to just get on with making music and not think about making a band name, because we're very indecisive people and we could spend 10 years coming up with a really bad band name. So it's done, and it's that.
If you had like a name in your head right now, like what names would you you change it to?
Well, this is the problem. We have nothing in our
Nothing,
heads.
I think coming up with names is like the hardest part.
Yeah, like we thought for so long about band names, like because when we started off, we kind of just had a show, so we called it Ladylike for the show, and then we were like, oh, we'll think of a better band name, and we spent like months and months and probably years like thinking of a better band name that just never happened. So we're this now.
He's got going.
We struggle with song names as well, so like song names are hard. Naming anything is hard for us.
Yeah, I think just putting a name on something is like, it's like judging a book by its cover, like the name is the first thing you see, like the artwork is the first thing you see. But like, yeah, I think the EP's given us like a sort of a way to show our like aesthetic more and kind of build on what we want the visual to be and how we want people to perceive us.
And how did yous like meet? How did yous all?
Yeah, so we met in Guildford years ago now, and then Spencer and I played right before lockdown. We started a group with one of our friends, and then lockdown happened. We kept doing it, but we never got to play any gigs. And then me and Georgia kind of moved to Brighton at the same time. I was starting uni, and you were just moving there to live. And a bunch of our friends were moving down there. It seemed like everybody was kind of going down there. and you weren't really doing much music at the time, and I was at uni, had space to like make music, and I was like, we really like, you need to be doing music, like let's get doing it. And I wasn't even playing drums at the time. I was awful. I'd still say I am, but I was pretty bad back then. But I was like dragging you, and we'd bring Spencer to practices. Like we go to like a pirate studios and just go like play, like make noise, and it probably was not very good. And I thought it's never gonna happen. And then we started trying to take it more seriously. And I started playing with Archie in a project at uni. We kept doing it, and then we were like, oh, we need a bass player, and then we were like, let's get Archie to do it. And then eventually George was like, I guess we can let Spencer in the band.
I think like we played live quite early on, we'd been playing like as like a 2 or 3 piece for a while, but like as a 4 piece we played live quite early on, like way before we discovered the kind of music that we wanted to make. So it was really nice, like it was a testing ground for us to make all sorts of crap music. and like, but then also to find like what we actually wanted to make and how we wanted to make the audience feel. So yeah, it's kind of been a long process of us getting to a point where we're like, no, this is what we do, and like this is how we do it, and it's kind of ever evolving. But yeah,
He's obviously started like gigging quite early, right? And I read somewhere comparisons, right? I think comparisons are definitely probably hard when you're trying to find a sound of your like own.
Yeah.
But like one of the comparisons he's got was like Big Thief. And did those comparisons early on, like was it hard to sort of then like build your own sound off of it, or did you kind of just...
I think like we don't think about reference points ever
Yeah.
when we write. Like we rarely ever like go, oh, we want to do this. We just kind of write and it happens. And it's always a bit odd when people are like, oh, you sound like this, because it's never intentional. And a lot of the time people will say, oh, you sound like this band, and we're like, we've heard like a few songs and we've never listened to like their back catalogue. So you just kind of feel like a fraud when people say that. And I think the Big Thief one, for me, I think the only reason that we sound like Big Thief is probably like my voice in some places, but I find that quite difficult because Adrian Lenker has a very good voice, and so it's quite hard when people are like, oh, you sound like her, because I'm like, well, she's much better at it than I am. But yeah,
I kind of think that like since we've been compared to Big Thief, we've like actually listened to Big Thief and actually like I'm trying to understand why that is. I feel like you've listened to them a lot, and like
we actually decided for New Year's, like Arch was away, but the three of us were like, we got asked to do a covers set, and a few years ago we did a covers set on New Year's, and we hated it, like, because we tried to do fun songs, and then we were just like, we're just not fun, like we're just not good at that, and it was really painful for the audience and for us. So then last year just gone, we were like, let's just do Big Thief covers, because everyone says we sound like them, so we should just do it. And it was quite funny, because afterwards people came up to us like, now that you guys have played Big Thief, I realise your own music sounds nothing like Big Thief, and you guys don't have the same like way of playing. But it was kind of nice, we kind of drew a line under the Big Thief reference at that point.
Do you like, I don't know, I think it's just the space she's existed in, like the folk space, like when there is like a lot of like also space in the sound as well. I think it's such a comparison that gets thrown around so much, and I love Big Thief. Like I'm like Adrian Lenker, it's like songwriting and everything is so beautiful, but it is like, I think it's such a big comparison, and it, overlooking the folk space.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're all big Thief fans anyway, but I think we're probably all fans of Big Thief in different eras. Like, I think we all probably have a different favourite album of theirs, and fans for different reasons. Like, there's stuff that they do very well and that we probably take a bit from, but yeah, it's never really intentional.
Yeah, like with Southbound and Horsey's Mouth, so I'd say like Southbound, if anything, would have the most like that sound in it. But then it's when sort of like Horsey's Mouth.
If the glove is still fitting, then you are not dead. You say I don't need anyone. I don't need anyone.
came out, I felt like that was where you were like, Southbound's beautiful, by the way, but like Horse's Mouth just has like a completely different aspect to it, and it's like a lot more spacious, and it's like it's like that floaty sort of like, it's just like everything that is in like the EP now is like so like beautiful. So I wonder like if that was maybe if you were gigging that song at some point, maybe if that's where it,
oh, thank you. Yeah, I think like I think we kind of see Southbound as like old us, and like we haven't played it live in probably like what since it got released, probably like it was very much like old ladylike. It was kind of us like overdoing everything in the studio. Like I think we were proud of it, and it stamps that time, and like it got to us. It was like a nice platform to get us to where we needed to be. But yeah, Horse's Mouth and onwards kind of was more of like us finding our sound, I think, and realising where our space was, and the fact that our music works well with space and not overdoing it, because I think it's really easy to add loads of parts to things, but the point of this EP for us was kind of just like just keep it to how we are and what we've written, and like we don't want to add loads of bits in, like we can save that for the future.
Yeah. And is there like sort of a reason to why like Horse's Mouth isn't on the EP? Is it just because it was like,
well, I guess just because of the time mostly, and like it would sound quite different because we worked with Ali on the EP, Ali Chan. We self-produced the Horse's Mouth, and I feel like it's got a very different kind of tone to it. And yeah, we wrote a lot before the other songs. It feels like it probably should be because we gigged them a lot together for a while, but I think it was nice. We had enough songs to make it an EP without it. So
like I don't know where it would fit in the EP. It's like
I think we like moving on from things. We don't like getting too like stuck on just because like people like it or we like it. Like when we have something else we think is better, we play that instead. Like we're kind of like staying in the kind of moment with it in terms of when we're writing what's fresh.
I think also like we thought a lot about like the track listing of the EP, and like the way that the EP sits as like a sort of not story, because like lyrically it's not like matching really in many ways, but like more just like the arc of the EP, and like that's how we would play it live as like a one project thing. And so yeah, they sit together as one thing, and we didn't really want to separate that in any way.
It's quite hard to do that. I think move on from something that means a lot to you as well, right? So it's cool that you are able to like close the book and be like, okay, like something new is on the horizon.
We're very good at getting rid of songs, so we're very good at releasing something and then never playing it again. We stopped playing Horse's Mouth, we stopped playing Southbound. We'll probably stop playing the EP after this release.
I was going to say that after this tour you are done playing it.
Yeah, that's it, the EP's over.
It makes us write more songs though.
Yeah,
that's true. I'm excited to see where it like goes. So obviously we'll get on to the EP in a second, but congratulations on the Heister hit signing.
Thank you.
How what I deal with is a lot of like unsigned sort of like grassroots, and there is still grassroots and signed, but it's an interesting perspective to sort of hear where did the signing come into play. Is it like, was this before the EP was sort of like even started, or was it kind of like you had the EP and you kind of
we'd finished the EP, like we'd written it all. We self-funded it, and we recorded it with Ali Chan, which was something that we didn't think was going to happen really. Like we'd like shopped it around to a few producers that had said they were interested, and then we sent it to Ali like because we were all fans of his work, and we were like, he's not going to want to do this, and we can't afford him. And then he like sent back his rates, and we were like, oh thanks but no thanks, kind of thing. And he came to a show, and then he was like, no, I want to do this, and we made it work with him, which was really cool. So we were kind of like done with the EP when Heist or Hit came about, and it kind of was just a platform to like, we spent all of our money recording it, so like a platform to help us then actually get it to where it needed to be, because we didn't have like the platform or the budget to make it bigger than the record itself. So
that's really cool, because I was wondering what time it like where it came into place, and do you think it's like, how's it been like with it all? Has it like been a change from like sort of?
I think it's weird because we're really like quite insular as a band, like, and probably as people, like we're quite good at like overthinking it, and just like we take ages to make a decision on something, and like we've got a booking agent now, and before that it was very much like, should we play this show, shouldn't we play this show, like should we release this, should we post this on Instagram, should we not? And like expanding our team has meant that like those things aren't like a massive stress
Yeah.
for us anymore. But also, we've definitely like built our team with people that are just really nice and
Our friends.
yeah, and our friends. Otherwise, it wouldn't work, and I think we wouldn't want it to work either, because the project is very much just like, yeah, we want it to be like exactly how we want, and having people just help that is a great thing.
So on to the EP. It's a pleasure of mine to know you're fine. Also, Sour Carol I is impossible to say when you're Scottish. Like, I was doing that, like, showing up on a Sunday, and I took like 7 takes. So that's why, like, in the final one, I'm like, Sour Carol I. Because it's like, it's like the purple burger alarm thing. It's so hard to pronounce. But, like, stunning EP from, like, start to finish. And you were talking more about, before we get into the sound, like, the style of everything and how you, like, have got that across, and like the look of everything, and it's like a really, I don't know how to describe it, but it really does well at like capturing the sound. Like, it is quite like abstract and quite spacious, and it's like who like did you go in with a plan of like what you wanted it to look like, and then it sort of flourished? Or
I think no, not really. Like, we kind of always say that, like, whenever we're writing something, we're like, we should think about now, like, what we want the artwork to be and like how we want it to look, because it's an important part of the song. But on the EP, it was very much just like, I mean, I'm a big fan of things that are just like very white and overexposed, and like, I think, yeah, like, Esme, who's a friend of ours, she did the artwork for Horse's Mouth, and we really liked what she did.
Yeah.
And then we just went to the pub with her, and we were just like looking at all the like photos and like visual media stuff she had to like see what we could do with the EP. And I think we just, like, without sounding pretentious, like really liked like textures and wanted to work with that, and like create the space, like the emptiness of the EP, but like in art form, and she did a really good job of that. And then we just like, I'm kind of quite anal about art and things, so it was kind of like me and her working together, her making the artwork and then me like making the things around it, to try and but we definitely overthought it, and we probably could have come up with the same thing quite quickly, but it took us a really long time.
It's out there, and
so like obsessed with small details.
Somebody's got to.
I mean, we're the same in our songs. There's like very tiny little bits in the song where we're like, shit, we didn't do that bit, and it's like nobody would ever fucking know that was ever a thing.
It shows she's care though. That's like it. So it's
we do care a lot.
Sometimes a little too much.
So the sound of the EP, it's like, I think there's like music sometimes that you hear it and you just can't explain it, because it is just so, like, I don't know, the best way to describe it is, like, when I heard the EP and when I hear a lot of stuff I really like, you get this like gut feeling, and you're like, you can't explain why, but it just like, it's like really exciting. So obviously, when did you start like building it? Like, when was...
It's kind of come about over time.
Yeah, I mean, kind of each thing on the EP is a bit different. Like the Burning Heather parts, which are like the beginning of the EP. And halfway through the EP. Was like one really long song that we had that like we just one day decided, what if we just split it and use bits of it as like instrumentals, because I think we write like quite fluidly, and then we come up with like a short bit that we really like, and then we add to it and we're like, no, we've killed it. So like we were just like, we could split that up and use pieces of it, and it was quite methodical and quite thought out.
One of those parts we literally did in the studio. We've been trying to figure out how to do it like as its own thing, because we'd split it out from this other song, and then it was just one of those, like, we had like a couple hours on like the last day or like the second last day, and we were like, right, well, we got to get this one done.
But like I think it was a lesson for us to commit to things and not just like spend ages like redoing it and over egging it, because like it's quite a natural sounding project. So like a lot of it was just like, we've committed to it sounding like this, so now we have to stick with it, I think.
It was quite nice, like, having the EP, having all the songs kind of came about in very different ways. I remember Fresh Linen.
Outside of photographs,
writing that one, it felt like it just kind of formed itself. That was like very satisfying.
I mean, yeah, there's definitely like some songs on the EP that were like written in no time, and then others that took a bit longer. Like, yeah, Fresh Linen and Sour Carol. Kind of both just like we just wrote them and played them as that, and then maybe tweaked them slightly, but like not much.
The writing of it, who writes? Like, is it a group effort?
Yeah. Very much so. Like, especially the stuff we write now, and including the EP, like it's all just us in our practice room playing together, and then usually like Spence or I will bring in maybe like a really short bit of guitar, but like not always, and we'll just play for sometimes a bit too long, and then have to listen back to like a 3-hour voice note to find what the bit that we liked for like 10 seconds was before we fucked it up. But and then we just kind of listen back to stuff. I think we all kind of like, we just like press record, play for ages. We went on like a bit of a trip recently where we just set up all of our instruments in this like Airbnb in a barn, and just hit record for like 3 days, and then James listened to all 10 hours of recordings to tell us what the parts that worked was, because he was the one that wanted to spend his time doing that. So
I think I'm the one that hyperfixates on like just listening to things, like, whereas I'm like, guys, what did you think of that voice note? And then they're like, yeah, that one, I listened to it. But yeah, so then we find the bits we like, and then we kind of sometimes won't even come back to it. Like, we like that, but we're like, that was just fun as it was, and then we come back to a completely different, refreshed, like in a different mindset.
Yeah, we
like,
rarely kind of like, if it doesn't work the second time we play it, we rarely stick on it. We kind of just are like, it's gone, next one. Yeah. Thank you, interviewer.
That's cool.
Do you use like a lot of outside experiences like to help fuel them? So like, if you were writing something and you know you needed to write something, where would you like try and be like, okay, we'll need to get into this headspace, or we need to go do this? And
no, not really. We don't really talk before we write. We kind of just like plug in everything, ask how each other's weeks have been, and then we just go, okay, and then we just kind of write. And then I think lyrically I'll probably feel when we're playing it like what I want it to like feel like, and then I'll maybe like come up with a phrase then, and then I'll go home and listen back to it and play it on my guitar and be like, oh, okay, it's about this, and that's like but it's less about like a specific story. It's more about like, this is how it made me feel, so this is what I'm writing about, kind of thing.
If you were to like encapsulate all the EP is about, to like get someone to listen to it, I know it's so hard. Like, how would you best do that? Because I would struggle.
I think it's kind of about like regrowth and like and like despair. It's kind of like, I think as like a band thing, it's like a journey of us like kind of working out where we kind of want to sit, and then I think on a personal level it's like about kind of growing up, but also just like wanting to do well at life, kind of thing. Just kind of new beginnings and new starts. And I think there are some songs that are kind of maybe more like personally a story, but most of it is kind of like around the rough theme of like finding your place to live and doing your own thing.
That's really cool. Because Sour Carol I sounds so much like this like conversation, and it's also backed up so much with the sound and this like harmonizing sort of like trading lines type thing, and it's like really cool. So I think each of the track does a really good job at doing its like what it's meant to do, and like also gives like you so much more as well. It kind of you sit there after the track finishes and you're kind of like, okay, like trying to build this narrative of like what's next in your head, and like where has this story gone, or where has this sound gone, inside the track to out of it, and it's really cool because sometimes you listen to music and it's quite, you're like, okay, that's the track done, and it's quite closed off.
Yeah.
I know you've literally just released the EP, but like when you're thinking about closing the book on this, is there like ideas already in your head about sort of what you want to do?
Yeah, and thank you for saying those things about the EP. It's very sweet. Yeah, and I think Sour Carol is probably more of like a personal story than the rest of the EP. It's definitely a conversation directly to someone, and the rest of the EP is like kind of less direct.
Yeah.
So it kind of, and I think we always play that last live because we like that phrase, the EP phrase being the last thing that people hear. It reminds people, and like it's just like a closing sentence of ours, I think. But yeah, in terms of stuff next, we've been writing quite a lot. And quite a lot of different things, I think. Like we kind of have like, we kind of write in moods, don't we? And then like pair those things together. Like we'll be like ambient mood, we've got these ones, and then like folk mood, we've got these ones, and sort of, and then these are our loud ones, kind of thing. But yeah, we've been writing quite a lot.
We've been playing quite a few new ones on our headline shows.
Yeah.
The longer sets. Tonight we had half hours, so we stripped it down. But
There's still a new one in there though.
Yeah. Tonight we were like, maybe, well, I was like, maybe we shouldn't play much of the EP, and they were like, no. So I was like, we should just play new ones, and they were like, no. So we only played one new one tonight. But yeah, like we've been playing like what, 4 or 5 new ones. Yeah.
It's like half new, half the EP.
Yeah. So yeah, I think it's been nice to test those out, because now that we've played them live, we're probably going to spend the next month going back and being like, what worked and what didn't work, kind of thing, and how do we want that. We're definitely writing some stuff that feels more like album material, and some stuff that feels more like, not in that same zone, but we still want to release it.
Sick. And with the phrase being in, obviously the lyrics of Sarah Carol, did you write it and be like, okay, well, we want that to be the title, or do you think that's just like what summed up the EP most?
Oh, the title of the EP.
Yeah.
I think we had like a conversation where we were like, what should the title of the EP be? And then we were like, well, the EP's going to finish on Sour Carol. And I was like, oh, it could be called this, but I don't know if it's a bit cringe because it rhymes. And then Archie was like, no, me and my girlfriend think that's the best lyrics of the when we play live. So I was like, let's just do that then. Yeah. And I think it's nice. It's a nice sentiment, and I find that song quite emotional when we play it live. And I think that it's kind of like a nice way to like instill that emotion just in like a sentence. It's a bit long. It's a bit of a mouthful, and we definitely forgotten the apostrophe a few times. But yeah.
It means you didn't have to come up with like a new idea for a name, so that's quite a good thing.
Yeah, exactly.
We don't like naming.
Yeah, that covered it.
To be honest, it was either going to be called Ladylike 1, EP 1, or It's a Pleasure of Mine to Know You're Fine. So
I think we picked the best one.
Yeah,
it's the best of a bad bunch.
So Showing Up is all like sort of mental health driven and stuff, and like it was started to sort of give the people showing up and like for themselves and writing sort of and doing stuff, and like as hard as it is to be a person or artist, like, but they were doing it anyway, so it was like a way of like helping like spotlight those people. And it was also like part of a personal thing for like, this just like ignites like everything in me to like, I just love music, and it helps do that. Like, what does showing up like sort of mean for you? It's like, it could mean personally or like in a band, but like, how do you access this side of yourself where you're able to sort of like create something? Because I think it's quite hard.
I think it can be hard to show up sometimes when you're not feeling it, and I think for us, like as a band, like we're just like really good friends, and I think that having like each other around means that we have like the confidence to do it. I think if I was like releasing music on my own, I would just like probably never release it or never want to perform it, because I'd be like, oh no, shit, I don't want to do it. But like we kind of instill a confidence in each other, and I think that us being good friends really helps that.
Yeah, I think there's this thing where it's like, I don't know, when I play music with other people, it's fun, and it's like, it's enjoyable, but there's something like, we've been doing this, we all share so much like music taste and like history, and like we're so committed to this project. Like we practice like once a week, and we have done for like, it feels like the last 3 years, like 4 years, like we've been constantly like, and that's like, there's so much time we spent with each other, like in each other's company, and all the like fun stuff we've gotten to do, the not so fun stuff and like stressful stuff we've done. But like we've been through those phases in each other's lives, like all the big changes and stuff. And it's just like, yeah, it's like it makes you like want to keep coming back to it. Like it's like there's this special kind of feeling you get like when you go up on stage and you're like, oh fuck, like.
Yeah, and I think like we're very honest with each other. We keep each other in check, and I could easily like call in sick to things or like not go to something because I'm ill or not feeling it, but like I don't think we've ever cancelled a band practice because we're not feeling it or like feel sick.
I was throwing up in one. I was like hungover, throwing up between songs.
We'll always show up to practice because I think like it's the bit of the week that we all want to do. Yeah. Well, I want to do it. I hope you guys do. But
turn up.
But I think like we show up for each other and like that's what.
It's quite. It's not
and sometimes we'll do a practice and we'll all just be like fucking miserable, and it's like, but like you get this feeling afterwards still of like, oh, we showed up, and even if we came up with nothing, we still spent like the time working on it. So
it's the kind of thing you like gets you away from like working and stuff. Like we're all like so busy all the time. And then we have that one day a week where it's kind of like we're not thinking about anything else. It's just like we're in a little box in a kind of industrial like warehouse block. It's like either freezing cold or boiling hot, like, but we're just focused in on it, and you can kind of forget everything else out of it. And then you go back to life and you have another like week of like, you know, work and like things going on. Yeah. And then you come back and you're like, you know, it's just something to look forward to every kind of week. And then something
to like build on as well.
Yeah.
Right? Continue building on over time. Make something.
Yeah.
So lastly, who are bands or artists that people should like check out? Could be like smaller or a bit bigger.
We played in London on last Saturday, and we had this band support us called Long Distance Runner, who I'm a really big fan of, and it was really cool that they wanted to support us. But yeah, they're definitely underappreciated at the moment. A London band, very like explosions in the sky, post rock, instrumental, but yeah, they're really, really, really good, and hopefully they release some music soon.
Yeah, I mean, there's probably so many people. Like, it feels like don't want to just say like one person. Because like, you know, we played with all these great bands, especially over the years, and like where we come from, like there's so many good bands like in the area, in the scene, that like just like check out the Brighton music scene and the people coming out of there.
Check it out, man.
The London scene, and like, I mean, the London scene's always like there's just so many good people.
Yeah. Span?
Put on the spot there.
No bands. Arch looks like he's right.
Can I do some shameless self-promotion?
No.
Okay. Well, everyone in Brighton, there's just so many amazing bands in Brighton.
There's like a little label.
Name a band.
He
He doesn't know any
It's
bands.
really hard
He
to
doesn't.
do.
Spen hates music. Let it be known. Arch, you got to think of one band.
I can think of many, but they're all on the label.
Go for it.
I run a little record label, and there's some really great bands in Brighton, like Soft Top, LSD, Maximilian, and some really great bands in Brighton.
Yes.
Thank you so much for this.
Cool. Thank you for having us.
I know it's really cold. I really am so sorry. I appreciate it. So
No,
sorry.
we chose to be out here, so.
Thank you so much. Cheers.